This week, I invite Lee Williams back onto the show, and we talk about some of our favorite games of 2026 so far. Your backlog is probably going to grow at the end of this episode. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the episode.
Hi, I'm Celia Schilling from Yacht Club Games.
Hey, this is James from Megacat Studios.
Hey folks, this is Matt, aka Stormageddon from Reignite and the Fun and Games podcast.
This is Stephanie from the Boss Rush podcast and the Boss Rush Network.
Hey, this is Mark and Keon from Bonte Avond.
Hey, this is Sebastian with the ProNerdReport.com and the Single Player Experience podcast.
Hi, this is Chris.
Mike.
And Garrett from Daylight Basement Studio.
Hey, this is Baron J67 from Level 1 Gaming.
Hi, I'm Jacob McCourt from the Left Behind Game Club, Crossplay Conversations, and Video Game Trivia.
Hey, this is Todd Mitchell from Code Right Play.
Salutations, this is Mike Carroll from Stroll Art.
Hey, this is Jeff Moonen from Fun and Games Podcast.
What's good, y'all? This is Adam from Respawn Aimfire.
Hey, this is Patrick from the Backlog Odyssey.
Hey, this is Rune from Runic Codes.
Hi, this is Andrew from Spalato Bros.
Hi everyone, Jill Grote here from the Indie Informer.
Hello, this is the Crypt Master, and you're listening to Roger Richie. You're listening to Roger on the Gamerheads Podcast.
And welcome to another episode of the Gamerheads Podcast. My name is Roger. Along with me this week, I have a very special guest, a friend of mine, a returning guest. I have Lee Williams. He is a writer and a game developer. And like I said, returning guest. Welcome back to the show, Lee.
Hello. Thank you very much for having me. It's lovely to be back.
Yeah, I first of all always enjoy our conversations, and I was like, because the last time we were on the show, it was our Christmas special.
It was, yeah. Very festive.
It was very festive, but it's not going to be as festive. This episode's not going to be as festive.
No, this is going to be really dour, this one.
Yeah.
It's balanced out. Yeah. Really cool.
I thought, why? Because like we said, and I would love this, that we do a tradition of having you come on every year for Christmas, right? Or the Christmas era time, and we do some fun chats around the holidays. But why not have you on middle of the year too? Because
I'm going to sneak in the middle, and then my next goal is to get in for spring and autumn.
Yeah, there we go. And then pretty soon you're just on the show every week.
I'm going to take it over from you. Is my goal. Is my long-term goal.
Listen, if you want it, you can have it. It's yours. It's yours. All you have to do is ask. You get all the pay that comes along with it too.
Do I? Thank you. Yeah. Is that a
lot? Before we get into, because we're going to talk about the games that we've been playing this year that really stood out this middle of the year. I thought this would be a great opportunity to kind of reflect on the first half of the year and talk about the games we really enjoyed. Before we do that, though, I have to ask, do you, happy belated Father's Day? Do you all celebrate Father's Day in England?
Thank you. Yeah, we do. We do. We celebrate here. I celebrated with my two boys, my sons, by watching The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Oh, you did?
That was my Father's Day request for this year. So we watched that with some popcorn. And it was lovely. Yeah, it was lovely. Yeah, it was a very nice Father's Day. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Thank you.
Yeah, I wasn't quite sure. I mean, I'm assuming that you have a father. I just didn't know if it was the same.
It is. Yeah, I think it's the same then, because I didn't know if you had it. Yeah, it's just been yesterday, wasn't it? Yeah. Because I know you have a different Mother's Day. We have different Mother's Days, don't we?
We do, don't we?
Yes. I'm never quite sure when. I can't even remember when Mother's Day is over here, which is a bit embarrassing. Whoa. But I know it's different for you. I know we have a different one.
Did it pass already? Did your Mother's Day already pass?
It did. It has passed. I'm pretty sure it has passed. So I did, because I did get my mother something. This is embarrassing admission. My wife tells me when Mother's Day is coming up, so I make sure that my mother gets something, and I make sure that our boys get something for her. So. She reminds me every year, and I'm pretty sure we've had that already.
Okay. I was going to ask, because like for me, it's I get my wife something from the kids and me, right, and then my wife usually gets me something from the kids and her. I wasn't quite sure if that's quite the same.
No, that's sort of what we do. I mean, the kids they're kind of getting old enough now, my boys, that they will get their own things, but we do need to tell them to do it.
How old are your boys now? How old
they are? They are now 10 and 13.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, one of them has just crashed into his teenage years.
Yeah,
really hard. He feels like he's been a teenager for a while. So, but yeah. But they're lovely.
My daughter just turned 15 last week.
Yeah.
So, and then I have an 11-year-old and a 6-year-old. So,
right. Okay. Oh, quite.
Yeah.
You've got quite a range. It must be that's a busy household.
I cannot tell you. Like, that's the crazy thing. Like today, like every day, my daughter is in. My oldest is in The Hobbit, so they're doing a community theater of The Hobbit, and she is the elf queen. Yeah, it's so there's too many women that try out, or too many females that try out for the play, so they turn a lot of male roles into female.
Yeah.
That's cool, though. So the elf king is the elf queen, which is cool. Like it gives her an opportunity to do this, right? But I had to drive her out to play practice, which is like an hour away, and then I had to take the other kids to swim lessons, and then I had to pick up my wife, and then I have to go. So it's like very, very hectic. I don't know how it is like.
I feel for you. Yeah, that's a lot, especially with 3 kids at different ages. I find 2, they're in plays this week as well. Funny enough, it must be that time of year, I guess, coming up to summer. One of them is the eldest one is a pickpocket in Oliver, which feels quite apt for him. And the youngest one is Moonface in The Faraway Tree. So
wow,
to look forward to. End of the week.
Wow, that's fun. That's awesome. That's really cool. Well, happy belated Father's Day.
Thank you, and to you too.
Thank you.
It's nice to have a bit of fatherly solidarity there.
Well, let's go through. I have a couple games here that I would like to highlight that have been my games that I've picked as some of the best games I've played this year, and I'm sure that you have some as well. So we'll just go back and forth with our list of games. Since you're the guest, I'll let you go first. Do you want to start with? I don't have an order. I just randomly have games that I select.
Yeah, no, I haven't got a particular order. I'm happy to start.
Okay.
I hope I don't say we haven't picked all the same ones. But my first one I wanted to talk about was the first game that I played this year that I really got into, and one of the only games that I've completed this year and was just desperate to play more of still, which was Cairn.
Oh, I haven't played it yet.
Really enjoyed that. The mountain climber game.
Yeah.
I thought it was magnificent. It was just a lovely experience. I sunk into that. I just really went to check it out to see what it was like. And I played through the whole thing. I've even been on the timed mode since then, and I'm keen for the new update that comes out. But I just thought it was just beautifully done. It looks lovely. It's got a lovely story, which is not too intrusive. A story, but which it gives it an emotional journey to it as well, just enough of an emotional journey. The only criticisms I've seen about it is that a lot of people didn't like the protagonist very much. But I did. I can understand why people didn't. I think it's a problem that's kind of unique to video games in particular, that when you're sort of projecting yourself into a person, if that person is maybe not always very sympathetic or a little bit of an anti-hero almost, some people can struggle with that, which is fair enough. But I never have that problem really. I like a flawed or complex character, and I thought the main character, she's Ava, she's called, I think. She's very tough, very focused. She's kind of pushed away a lot of people in her life just with this extreme focus on climbing the mountain. And I found her story quite compelling, so I enjoyed that. But above all, it's the mechanics I thought were gorgeous. Just you can get into a real sort of flow state climbing. You move each limb separately, and there have been similar climbing games in the past that have done the same sort of thing, but none that have quite grabbed me in the same way. It feels really intuitive as as you're moving your limbs to reach up for handholds. I'm doing the gestures. I don't really know. I don't climb anything.
I was going to ask, are you a mountain climber? Do you climb mountains?
Yeah, I can't really. I was aware that just then I was about to say, how realistic it was, but then it occurred to me, how can I say that? The only times I've ever tried to climb anything have ended in disaster. So I don't really know. I can barely climb a table. So, but yeah, it feels like I imagine rock climbing feel if you were a good skilled rock climber. And it does. And you do hear rock climbers talk about that kind of state of flow and so on when you're moving, you're looking at the next handhold. And you really do feel like that when you're playing the game. You know, you look and it's got a nice, it's not completely open, the mountain, but it's open enough that you're able to look at the sides of it and judge your route. And I love that sort of thing, that sort of planning. I'm going to try and go up there and then go across the overhang there and that sort of thing. And you've got to, usually I hate in games when you have to manage your food, your stamina, these things. I don't mind a little bit of that, but it feels like a grind to me if there's too much of that. But in this game, I didn't mind it because they do it really nicely. That, you know, they give you have to. They give you just enough food and things as you're going up that you have to think about, you know, getting to the next point where you can pitch your bivouac and boil up water, and maybe you've got some dried noodles. You can make that into soup and keep it for the next stage up. So the resource management, it ties in really. It doesn't feel like it's another system bolted on. It ties into what you're doing as well. And you know, the chalk, you can chalk your hands to get over a particularly tricky spot, and you might need to drink water halfway up to help your stamina and things like that. So it all comes together really well. And I think I've said already, but it's worth saying again, that it looks and sounds gorgeous. The design of the whole environment is lovely, and sort of environmental storytelling as well. The story of these people who lived on the mountainside and have since gone down the mountain, and you come across their temples and things as you go up, and it's just beautiful. Yeah. So I've not got any criticisms of it. I'd really, really enjoyed that game.
I have not played it yet. I need to play. It's crazy because it's crazy to think of how many fantastic games came out this year already, right? And
yeah, we've been spoiled already, haven't we? I think yes.
Yeah. And every year you always hear, "Oh, there's no games to play. Oh, there's good." It's like, are you kidding? Like, have you not seen like all the games that are coming out? Like,
no, absolutely,
it's crazy. That is on my list of games to play though, for sure. That's a good pick. So my first game that I'll mention here is a game that actually came out last year, but I first played it on the Switch 2 because it just released on Switch 2 this year. So it's a little cheating, but not really, because, you know, that's where I played it. And that's Sectori. Have you heard of this game?
I haven't played it. I've heard of it, but I haven't played it. No.
Yeah. So it's a twin stick shooter, top down arcade style type game, and very similar to, like, a lot of people said it's very similar to like Geometry Wars.
Oh, right.
But,
yes.
But this game like takes that formula and goes to like the next level with it, because like it's very colorful. First of all, like there's just so much going on.
Yeah,
and
I've seen a couple of videos of it.
It's so gorgeous. The game is so gorgeous.
It looks lovely. Yeah.
Yeah. The one thing that I really love about this game is that it gives you a light tutorial, but a lot of it's like explore, find things out yourself, right? And as you do, you're like, whoa, like this is really cool. And there's things that the game does that you're like, it made me realize like, oh, like I know what they're doing here, but without them telling me. This is like an example. The whole world shifts, and before walls change, they'll turn like bright red. Or like an area that's going to have walls will turn bright red. Basically, you better get out of there, otherwise the walls are going to be there and you explode, right? So like, such a cool concept, and then it does this really cool thing too, where you're taking on the bosses, and it does like the shift to like this 2D5 kind of like, you know, like look to it. It's really neat. Really fantastic game. If you love arcade games, you love twin stick shooters, this is probably the best twin stick shooter arcade game I've ever played.
Really? Oh, I do like a twin stick shooter. Yeah, I must check that out. Yeah.
Do you have it?
Is it very kind of, does it go into sort of bullet hell territory at all?
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm getting on in years. That's the only thing that puts me off some kind of a twin stick shooter nowadays, is if it's really hardcore, it just makes me feel bad about my collapsing reaction time.
There is quite a bit going on in the game, like, and I don't think it's on the Switch 1. I think that's the reason why, because there is so much going on in this game.
Right. Yeah.
Do you have a Switch 2? I don't remember if you do or not.
My son has a Switch 2, which he will occasionally permit me to borrow if I'm very good.
See, it's the other way in my house. I have a Switch 2, and I occasionally let my kids.
That's
play
much better.
it.
I should have got it set up like that. Yeah.
Well, they were really thankful because they got my original Switch, so they thought this was the greatest thing ever. Yeah, but it is. I mean, there is, as you've advanced, the more and more it becomes more and more claustrophobic is the word that I would like to use, because the environments shift and the world shifts and like your play area shifts. So sometimes you're at like, very thin area that you can actually maneuver in, and there's enemies coming at you, but you can level up your ship within the run. So you pick up these gems, and you can save up to level up to get to like better missiles or better blasters or more speed, or if you'd rather just run for score, you can level up your score. So it's a really cool game. You should check it out.
Sounds it. Yeah, no, I must check that out. Yeah, that does sound like just my sort of thing. Is it because a lot of twin stick, sometimes twin stick ones I prefer to play mouse keyboard. Is it not a game that would work as well with the mouse keyboard, do you think, or is it really going to need twin sticks?
That is a good question. I don't think that. So first of all, I'll say I don't think they have the mouse capability on the Switch 2.
No.
If they do, I don't play with it. I don't think they do, and I don't know about PC. I don't know if you. I mean, I'm assuming you can play with
probably
mouse.
A game that's going to be nicer on the Switch 2 anyway. So I think I'll probably go for that.
Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of people I think it's on the Steam Deck as well. So I think that people have talked about playing it on Steam Deck. But what I've seen people say is that on the Switch 2 it plays better.
Right. Yeah.
So I see it's a hard thing because I don't play with keyboard and mouse real often. So for me, I would say I'm the wrong person to ask. I would say every day, all day controller, right? Because even though we both grew up playing mainly mouse and keyboard games growing up, but nowadays I can't go back. I can't.
Yeah, that's right. No, I don't know what I flip between the two. I don't know what it is. Some things I find easier, and it's not even that I find one genre better and another. Certain games I don't know, after a little while I just get for a little feel for, do I want to be on a controller or do I want to be on a mouse and keyboard?
Yeah, I would say this one I'm going to suggest controller. But only because I feel like that's natively what it's supposed to be built on.
So. And if that's probably what they designed it for as well, so they're going to have been testing it with twin sticks, so that makes sense. When you know what the sort of what the developers had in mind, I think that's always it's always best to go with that, isn't it?
Yeah. So that's Sectori. That's my first pick. What's your next game on your list?
Awesome. Yeah. The next one on my list has just recently come out, and I've not played enough of it yet to give a really full rundown on it. But I've been enjoying very much what I've played so far, and my youngest son, is really into it. So he was very keen for me to mention this one. And that Tabletop Tavern.
Okay. I've seen it. I have not played it yet, though.
It's just released. It's really fun. It's really cool. I mean, what it is basically. The quick pitch for it is it's an RTS, or specifically like a Total War style RTS, roguelike essentially, which is. I mean, I get a bit tired with the trend of just making everything a roguelike. Let's pick another genre and turn it into a roguelike, because it doesn't work with everything. It doesn't always work, but this is done in a very cool way, and it's fun, and it does work. It benefits from the roguelike elements, I think. So the basic idea is you're in a sort of fantasy tavern, and the play field is a table, like you're playing a tabletop war game in a tavern, and your opponents are the sort of generals of the other armies. So you've got it's a fairly generic fantasy setting. So you've got your orcs, your elves, your dwarves, what you would expect really, and you're playing against them on this tabletop playing field. But when you play the battles, then you manage it like, say, Total War, or a fairly light version of Total War. But you only start off with a few units, and the roguelike thing comes because you have the usual sort of progression tree, like sort of Slay the Spire or Inscription, or so where you're choosing between doing fights, which give you experience and loot afterwards, or you might be going to special locations or healing fountains or getting new units, that sort of thing. But it works really well. So you basically you guide your little army through this bespoke campaign each time, and one run takes maybe half an hour. And it's nice. It's quite short, punchy fights. You set up on the battlefield across from your opponents. You fight one little battle, and there's enough to the Total War side of it. It's like a stripped down version of something like Total War, but there's enough to it. You have to consider terrain. You have to consider what your unit types are like against their unit types. Formation, flanking makes a big difference, and attacking from the rear and so on. So you get nice punchy little mini war games like that, and in between them you get to upgrade your troops. If you get 3 of the same kind, you can stack them together and make them like a veteran unit, and you get all kinds of different buffs which do different things to your army. And you can get in the later stages of the game, of the little mini campaign, you can get legendary troops and so on. And also there's a nice system where you can set aside gold, not to spend within the run, but to spend when you get back to the tavern, on buying permanent upgrades, that sort of thing. So it's not doing anything new in terms of the roguelike system that it's got, I don't think, but it's a new idea to fuse it with that kind of strategy game. And it's one that, as I say, it doesn't always work, just turn something into a roguelike, but it does work in this case, I feel. And it's also, and it's got a nice mood to it. The tavern setting is a nice idea as well, playing these things on a physical tabletop within the tavern. And then you can go and visit the barkeeper in certain bits in the tavern and get upgrades from them and that sort of thing. So that just makes it feel quite charming as well, that you are actually playing this game against your opponent. And you can look up, when you're in the game, you can look up with the camera and see them looming over their army. So that feels really fun. The only thing I would say, in fact, is I kind of wish there was a bit more. I wish they leaned into that idea of you having miniatures on a physical tabletop into the tavern, and they leaned into the tavern part of it a bit more. Maybe it would, even if it were just the sort of aesthetic dressing, you get your figures out of a case and place them on the table or something, because you can sometimes forget that the tavern is there. But that's a very minor gripe. It looks like they've got a pretty solid sort of roadmap of new content, and I've been really enjoying it. And my youngest son adores it. He's been playing it obsessively just recently. That's awesome. So that's a really fun one.
Oh, that's some fun. So the idea is that you are playing tabletop games against other fantasy creatures,
fantasy warlords, essentially. Yeah. I don't know quite how it. Yeah. How that, there's no real story to it as such. I don't think you're all gathered in the tavern, and then you're also playing, but you're playing your armies against each other. They could possibly have put, could have got a little bit, could have done something maybe more interesting on the story side, but it doesn't really need that, to be honest. A lot of what it is it's just cool moving units of people, and you can get dragons and things in your army as well, and you get undead. One side's got undead troops, and so they can raise up new troops after each battle, and things like that. And it's fun, and it's a lot of content as well. There's a lot of content, lots of sort of lots of things you can unlock, and different buffs and things. So it's and it looks like, as I say, on the roadmap, I know they've got multiplayer coming down the road and different game modes and things. So
well, when multiplayer comes up, we'll have to play against each other.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You don't mind getting thrashed. Then
wow.
That's tough talk. See, that's what my son gets. That's what my son gets. I don't pull any punches. He may only be 10, but he beats me. He beats me at everything. So I can't really. The tough talk is just a pure show.
No, that sounds
But yeah,
cool.
we
That
must play.
sounds really
We must
cool.
play multiplayer. I think the multiplayer will
Yeah.
be fun. So I'd
Yeah,
love to
yeah,
multiplayer
yeah.
game when they release
I
that.
would,
Yeah.
I would, and those are my types of games. So I certainly, I'll have to check this game out because this is not on my radar.
I might regret the tough talk. Is what you're saying. Yeah.
No, here's the thing.
Yeah.
The truth is, like, I'm not a competitive player.
No,
There's only
I'm
like 2 games that I've ever been competitive with. And one of them was Knockout City. And I don't know if you ever played that. So we had these dodgeballs and you throw them at each other and you knock people out.
Okay. Yes.
It was really fun. It doesn't exist anymore. But that was the first, and Mario Kart is the other game that I'm somewhat competitive, right? So that's the first time my wife was like, "Oh my goodness, I've never heard you swear before, but you swear like a sailor." I'm like, "Yeah, I know." Like,
just during Mario Kart.
Yeah, exactly. But no, that sounds really fun. That we should do that for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
My next game on my list is a game that came out earlier this year. It's a game that I got to check out at PAX East, I think, last year. And it won one of our awards, our Best of PAX awards. And that is Perfect Tides, Station to Station.
Okay. That looks interesting. Yes, I have seen that. I'm aware of that.
Yeah. So this is a point-and-click adventure game. And you play as a character. Her name is Mara. She is... she's in college. I think she might be in college a little bit later than what you and I would have been in school. But somewhere around that same age. And it's her story about making mistakes and learning from them and wanting to be a writer. She wants to be a writer. And I think the thing that it captures really well is, like, when you're in college, I don't know, maybe not you, maybe this is me. But when I was in college, I thought I was like top dog, right? Like, I thought I was the smartest person in the world. I thought, like, oh man, I really am really that smart. And then you get out to the real world and you're like, oh no, I'm not. I'm really dumb, right? Like, maybe that's an American thing. I don't know.
No, that's. I think that's universal. Yeah,
Okay.
that was kind of my experience too. Yeah.
And I see this a lot in Mara, where she, like, as a late 40-some person playing this game, watching the mistakes that she made some of the same mistakes that I made in college. I reflected a lot of the things that the mistakes that I made in college, and think to myself, yeah, those weren't. I mean, at the time they felt like really big things, but looking back, they're not, right? And I don't know, it was a neat experience because there's very few times where I play as a character because I want them to make the right choices, right? Like, I really care about that character. And like for Mara, I did care about her. I did care about her as a character, and I wanted to make the decisions. I didn't want her to make the same mistakes that I made. And inevitably she makes the same mistakes that some of the same mistakes that I made, right? Yeah. It's really cool. I love the writing's really, really well done. It's all this pixelated art too. So it's really beautifully
got a lovely
done.
pixel art style, hasn't it? Yeah, it has.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it fits that kind of slightly nostalgic vibe, I guess.
Yes. There is a really fun, I don't want to spoil this for anybody, but there's a moment where, and I've never seen this done in a game before, where they sing karaoke, and it tells you to pull up like the song on YouTube, and at the count of 3 hit play, and the characters will sing the song. It's so cool. It is so cool. It is such a great job, and it just, it's so good. It's so it was such a magical moment, right? It was really fun. So
that's a nice idea. I like that.
Yeah, it was cool. So that was Perfect Tide, Station to Station. It's on, I think that's on every system now because it just came out on Switch this year. It came out recently on the Switch, I should say. It came out earlier this year, but just recently came out on the Switch. So
it's on Steam, isn't it? I'm sure I've seen it recommended on Steam. Yeah, it looks. Yeah, I must try that. I must check that out. And I'm always up for a decent adventure game as well. Is it Is it quite puzzly as well, or is it very puzzle light?
Very puzzle light. I think there's a couple. I'm just trying to think. Are there puzzles in this game? I think if there are, they're very light puzzles. They weren't.
They're quite. Yeah.
That wasn't like the main gist of the game. I think the main thing is more of like making decisions, right? And like thinking through like how you might handle a situation like this. And I don't know, it's really well
that's
written.
nice. And that's a really neat trick if a game can pull that off as well, as you say, to get you to feel for the character, because I mean that's one of the things that games can do that no other medium can do, which is actually give you some agency over making those choices. So if you can get a player engaged in the story, that's otherwise, there are lots of games obviously where they have a lot of those choices, but they don't really mean anything unless you're feeling for the character. It's just an exercise in sort of, well, let's see what happens if I do that or that. Or, I'll take the bad choice or the good choice, or But it only becomes really effective, I think, if you do care for the character and you think, you get into that mode where you're thinking, oh, I hope this works out all right for them.
Yeah. And I will say at the end, I mean, it was a satisfying ending, but it wasn't like it's not like a Hollywood happy ending. It's a ending. It's an ending, which
Right.
I'm like, this is more realistic than any other ending in any game that I played. So,
Right.
it was a very sweet game. So,
Oh, it sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you check that out.
yeah. All right, go back to you. What's the next game on your list then?
So the next thing, the next one I was going to talk about is, well, I've got one game in particular, but I'm going to try and use it to smuggle in a bunch of other games.
Cheater! You're cheating!
I'm cheating because I couldn't pick, because there's a bunch of very similar games that I've been playing
Okay.
recently. Well, I'm working on a game with some similarities in the future, and so I've been playing, and I love these type of games anyway. But these are deduction games, which they're supposed to be. We seem to be in vogue all of a sudden recently. There are quite a few being released, and I've always loved them. I've loved one of the earliest, I guess, was Return of the Obra Dinn, and then or in recent times at least, and then the Golden Idol games, which I loved. But I played one recently called The Rat Line, which I really enjoyed. Basically because the puzzles I thought were really good in it. I've played a few games actually that, as I say, I would recommend for similar reasons, but the Rat Line was one. The idea of the game is that you're an investigator. You've been hired to track down Nazi war criminals who had fled to South America after the war, and they're now living under assumed identities. And you've got this set of leads, and you look into. It's a little bit like The Root Trees Are Dead, which was another deduction game of recent times. So you look into all the evidence you've got, and it's a whole mix of photographs, newspaper clippings. This game does some clever things later and has things like audio recordings. You can get audio recordings from different rooms of houses. Those sections sometimes felt a little fiddly to me, but I still appreciated the fact that they were doing something. They were doing something different. They tried a few different things, that I hadn't seen before with some of these, audio transcripts and things. And this, I can't remember what it's called now, but a system. It's supposed to be like a security system that monitors different areas of a house, so you can patch together like what happened in a certain place. And it's got things like, it's got a telephone directory as well, so you can phone up. So you make your own deductions when you're reading through things. You can think, oh, they've mentioned a company there that's interesting. I'll see if that company still exists. Oh, they do. I'll phone them and see if they've got any information to add. And so you've basically got to track down these various war criminals who are looking at the evidence. And it's really good. It's one of those games where it's hard to say what's good about it without spoiling it, because the best thing about it, I thought, in my opinion, was the strength of the puzzles. They were really cleverly done. They're not too easy, they're not too difficult, for the most part. And they've got clever solutions. The inferences that you make by looking at the photographs and things, and just by finding incidental details and thinking, oh, hang on, I wonder if that, it makes you feel really clever. It makes you feel like a real detective, because you made that connection, or you made that jump. And then a lot of times there are kind of multiple ways that you might find a piece of information. So you might, the times when I felt cleverest were when I picked up on something through an incidental detail, and then later I realized there were lots of other clues pointing to it, and I could think, I don't need these clues now. I don't need your clues now. because I already figured that one out from a number plate in the first photograph, was and it makes you feel really good. It makes you feel like you're doing real detective work. So that was that was one I really enjoyed recently, and I played a few others as well. I played Red Pearl of Borneo recently, which I thought was really nicely written. That's a game where you're like a psychic detective and you get to kind of listen into conversations in this sort of villa between different people. That was really nice. There were a couple. Which were the other ones I played? Oh, there was a free one on Steam that I really enjoyed the other day. I'm sorry to get distracted briefly while I try and find out what the name of it was, because I recommended it to somebody else and I've forgotten what it's called.
I just love how you're sneaking in all these titles.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I know this is one game. But but this one was nice too. The Archives of Travosa.
Okay.
And it's free. That's a free one.
Okay.
Twitch.io. But that's one where you've got like a family tree and you identify a bit like the root trees, but it's set in this really interesting sort of fantasy world. So a lot of it is you trying to figure out what these unusual words mean. This word means daughter. This word means mother-in-law. They've got their whole system of how their aristocracy works.
That's cool.
And again, it's just it's a really nice one. But I really appreciate the glut of recent deduction games. I think I'm here for as many of them as people choose to put out. I played one or two recently that I won't mention just out of sort of courtesy, but I haven't enjoyed, mostly because I felt they've been a bit too linear. The temptation can be to make them too easy, I think, to try and include everybody. But the appeal of them, to me at least, is getting stuck. And I won't say that I'm not amazing at them. I have to use the hint system sometimes. And the Rat Line, for example, had a really good, robust hint system where it gives you like 3 hints before it gives up and says, no, come on, you're just being silly. This is the answer. But it does give you like 3 tiers of hints first. So
that's cool.
That was much appreciated, because sometimes all it needs is the first hint might be, check such and such newspaper. And you'll think, and that's enough you just want to know where to look roughly for the next clue. So I've played a couple that I felt have been usually the ones I haven't enjoyed have been because they've been a bit too linear, a bit too straightforward. It needs, I think, a bit of. It's one of those things where, as I say, they're popular at the moment. So I guess some people are sort of jumping on the bandwagon, thinking, "Yeah, that's popular. We can knock one of those out quick."
Yeah.
But actually, it's the sort of game that really benefits from really bespoke plotting and planning of the puzzles, and you notice if that's not there. But those were some examples of the ones that I thought really did that well.
That's cool.
But so I'm sorry. I apologise. My count is now up to 5 or 6, isn't it? I've flown ahead unfairly there. Sorry.
I'm joking. I'm just giving you a hard time. No, those are really cool. Did you ever play like Telling Lies or Her Story? Do you ever play those games at all?
I did. Her Story. I loved. I played that. That was fantastic. I thought Telling Lies. I don't think I.
Telling Lies, the same company, except you are putting together the story of this guy with these different women and trying to figure out like what's going on. It came out a couple of years ago. Same kind of concept. When you were talking about like finding audio files and video files, like that's what it reminded me of the game Telling Lies.
Yes, no, I'm aware of it, but I haven't played it. But I should be. I mean,
should play it.
That,
Yeah. That's actually one of the games that, and it's fun because like my wife and I really like these types of games too, these detective type games, and we usually like we had a notebook for Telling Lies of just all this stuff, like so this person said this, and then this came up, and like we found this video, right? Like it's kind of.
I love doing that sort of thing. Yeah, no, that's Sam Barlow as well, is it? Because Immortality, of course, is the other one which I did enjoy.
Yeah. No, that's really fun. I'm surprised, and maybe it's because of what's happening with WB now. Who knows who owns WB anymore? But like, I feel like a Scooby-Doo detective game would be perfect, right? Like
that would be great, wouldn't it? That would be really good.
Really would. And then at the end, you pull off, and turns out to be somebody completely different, right?
That would be fantastic. Oh, what a good way to do you could have a whole mechanic of pulling masks off people. So that would be lovely, wouldn't it? A Scooby-Doo is right for that.
Right?
Right?
Yeah, that would be really fun. My last pick here is a game that I also played at PAX several times. And I will say this is probably one of the hardest games I played in a recent, but it's really fun. I love it really a lot. And they did a lot with this game to make it more accessible for players to play. And that's Mina the Howler.
Oh, right. Yes, I know a few people who've been raving about that recently, but I've not played it. No.
Oh, it's so good. So when you look at the game, it looks like a Zelda top-down like Zelda game, like Link to the Past or the or the one where he's on the island. Oh my god, I can't think of the Link game now, but it's where he anyway, it's one of the old Game Boy Link games, right? And it looks like that, but then when you play it, it feels more like a Souls-like game because you have to like dig underground and pop up at the right place and dodge the enemies. It's really quite impressive. And the mechanics are fantastic. The game is so well done and it's so deep. And I will say, I am not good at this game at all. Like, I'm really terrible. I have been playing where I set some of the sliders or the accessibility things to certain areas to help me, right? To make it a little bit easier for me to play, just because I feel like everybody should be able to have a chance to play these games and enjoy these types of games, right? And it gives me that opportunity to do that, and I'm loving it. It is so fun. Still challenging, but it's much more up my speed because, like you said, I'm an older gamer now. I'm not.
That's the problem. Your reaction times start to go and things, and I lean on accessibility options nowadays as well. So there's no shame in that. I don't think.
It's funny because I was just thinking about this, like, I don't know, a couple months ago or so, is when I was a kid, I beat Mike Tyson in Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. I cannot beat him. I can't even make it to Mike Tyson nowadays, right? Without the code for sure. But as a kid, I beat him. I'm like, how did I beat Mike Tyson as a kid? And now, like, as an adult, I feel like, well, it should be way easier. And it's just like, I don't know, like, muscle memory is not there anymore. I'm not sure what it is, but
yeah, I've definitely noticed that. I used to be quite good, not great, but I used to be quite good at Counter-Strike when it first came out, and I had a little try again just recently. I was feeling nostalgic. I thought I'll just jump back in and see what Counter-Strike like these days, and I can't stay alive for more than 20 seconds. And part of that I know is I just can't anymore. I can't. Yeah. I'm not that quick.
Yeah,
I just can't.
Yeah. I think there is a little bit of the brain, like fluidity or I don't know, flexibility of some sort, right? That allows your brain to like be able to pick up on things a lot quicker when you're younger.
Yeah, definitely. I think and the speed of visually.
Yes,
I mean, like with my boys now, with my kids. They've just got to the age where it's a bit demoralizing. It used to be that they would have to say, "Dad, can you get past this bit for me?" Yeah, go on, I'll get past that bit for you. And now, no, it's completely the other way around. My youngest is playing Elden Ring at the moment, and he's fine. He comes up against the bosses. Yeah, he learns the attack pattern. He's rolling around. Oh my! So I have to get him to get past hard bits of games for me now.
Yeah. It is an interesting thing. Somebody should write a paper on that or some kind of do a report on like how different as you get older your ability to I don't know. It is almost like this fluidity of your brain to be able to just do things right without
I guess when you're young and your brain's geared up to learning new things and learning new systems, and you can see it like with a kid playing a game, and they just get the hang of the controls very quickly. It's like me nowadays, and I'll be hitting, because my kids will be saying to me, "Dad, why are you on it's not the trigger, Dad, it's the right button, Dad." I'm only just starting playing. Give me a chance.
Exactly. Well, that's my list here. Before we head out, why don't we tell people how they can follow you on social media and follow what you've been working on?
Oh, thank you. Well, I'm we're working on a couple of new games, and we're working on a sort of semi-sequel to Cryptmaster. It's not exactly a sequel to Cryptmaster. We're
Okay.
working on the new game now, Paul and I, which I'm really, really excited about. There's not much I can say about it still, not really because I don't want to give anything away, but more because I'm aware that it might change tomorrow because we're still at a stage where it's all a bit flexible. But essentially, it's a kind of alchemy simulator in a wizard's tower, and it's a. I think I told you this last time.
Yeah.
Like it's got sort of interactive sitcom elements to it. I would describe it as, hopefully building on some of the things we felt we did well in Cryptmaster.
Nice.
So I'm working on that, and as I mentioned, I'm doing a little bit of work on a deduction game as well, which is a kind of loosely Tintin and Agatha Christie inspired deduction RPG, I guess would be the best way of describing it.
Yeah.
So those are the things I'm doing at the moment, which I'm really excited about. And you could, anybody who wants to follow me on social media, I'm not sure why anybody would want to, but I don't use Twitter or whatever it's called now very much really. But I'm on Blue Sky as Williams, WIWYUMS, which is just how people where I live pronounce my surname. So that's me really, but it's been an absolute pleasure coming on here and chatting about games again. I don't get to do it very often, so I love it.
Well, I'm glad that you were able to join me. I mean, I like I said, I enjoy our conversations, and to have you on the show is always a pleasure. So thank you so much for.
It's always wonderful to be. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I'll put the links in the notes. Also, I'll put a link to the Cryptmaster too, because that following the Cryptmaster is very fun.
Thank you. Yes, he posts a lot more than I do, actually. If you're looking for me on social media, the Cryptmaster who is still me, basically.
Yeah.
With a little bit more confidence, with a mask on. The Cryptmaster posts, he's still fairly active.
Yeah.
In fact, we're thinking, I think I might have told you this last time as well, we're thinking of having the Cryptmaster just take over all marketing. Any games we make, even if they've not got the Cryptmaster in them, I think he'll just front the studio, to be honest, because I find it so much easier doing anything like in persona as the Cryptmaster than I do as myself. I mean, I don't think this would work, for example. I don't think having the Cryptmaster on the podcast.
Well, I don't know.
Particularly well, it might do. It's very hard. It's very hard for me to keep up the voice for more than 5 minutes. But other, like on social media and things, I find it much easier. I find it very hard to sort of, plug my own games or boost my own brand or whatever as myself. The Cryptmaster can just be shameless. He can just be shameless about buy my game now, you wretched ingrates. He can just he just lets me vent anything and just be completely shameless about promoting himself.
Oh man, I need to have a Cryptmaster for Gamerheads. That's what I need.
Yes. I recommend everybody should have one.
Everybody should have a Cryptmaster.
Everybody should have a Cryptmaster. Honestly, I can't recommend him enough.
Oh, listeners, I'll put the links on all that in the show notes. You can follow us on Blue Sky at gamerheadspodcast.com. You can go to our website at gamerheadspodcast.com, and then you can go to our YouTube channel where we have video shorts and such as well. So go check that out. Lee, again, thank you so much for joining me. This is so much fun having you on the show. I always laugh so hard whenever you're on the show because we just have such a good time. So
thanks very much. Me too.
You're welcome. And listeners, thank you so much for giving us a listen. If you like what you hear, leave us a review. We would love to hear what you have to say about the show. Give us a follow as well. And until next time, everyone, stay safe and game on, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.